Thank you for joining us on Health Diary. My name is Gladys Gashanja, and today we're coming to you from the Kenyatta Prime Care Center, specifically the newborn unit. As you can see, this is where the preterm babies are brought to be taken care of until they are of term. So what do we mean by preterm babies? Well, these are children that are born before 40 weeks. That is the time children or babies should be in their mother's womb. So if they come earlier than expected, this is where they come, where the nurses nurture them till that time they can be released to their parents and go into the outside world. So we get to understand what a preem is, what takes to ensure that this child survives right after this fact of the matter. A premature birth is one that takes place more than 3 weeks before the baby's estimated due date. Depending on how early a baby is born, he or she may be a late preterm, moderately preterm, very preterm, or extremely preterm. Complications of prematurity vary, but the earlier your baby is born, the higher the risk of medical complications. The causes of premature births can be addressed when identified early, especially when mothers attend antenatal clinics.
My name is Catherine Zainkune, mom to Jeremy Tubula Rikai, who was born on 1st of April 2019. On 22nd of March, I started bleeding when I was coming out from work. I called a friend and I told her that I was bleeding, and then the friend looked for a vehicle and took me to hospital. When I went to Kenyatta National Hospital, it was taken as an emergency. The cause of bleeding was the placenta and separated with the uterus at 22 weeks. And then the doctor came and elected for me to be given total bed rest to control the bleeding, which was severe.
She had developed very serious pains, and we were wondering what was happening. We were not expecting her to go through a normal delivery because we didn't even know the condition of the baby. I saw the doctor running with something wrapped on a piece of cloth like this, something very small. So I suspected, because I was just there, I said that could actually be our baby.
He was put he could have fit in the palm of the heart.
It was not easy for me because I didn't know what to expect. We didn't know if the baby was actually alive or no. We went through serious financial constraints because this is a situation that we did not plan for. And like she put it, there will be a time when things will run out of the hospital and we had to go back into our pockets. So actually we exhausted all our savings, and now we were struggling here and there.
So today our mission is to understand what preemies are, children that are born before the gestational period of 40 weeks in their mother's womb. And to help us understand more about that, we have Dr. Miriam Karanja, who is a neonatologist. Thank you for joining us, Dr. So I think at this point, let's first understand prematurity. How long before 40 weeks would you consider a child premature?
Any child who is born before that 7 weeks of gestation is a preterm.
Okay, and does it matter if the child was fully formed? Because they say at times 36 weeks, a child is good to go.
Most of them, they will be well formed. It's only the degree of maturity or the various organs. Yeah.
And does that vary from one child to another, or is there a set standard where a child should be at 36 weeks?
It should be the same. It's only that some of them, depending on the challenges, you find some have been born having very low weights, others have even big weights, depending on the condition of the mother, or depending on how the pregnancy has been.
And when you talk about the condition of the mother, of course, it sheds light on the fact that there are factors that cause a mother to deliver before term. What are some of those?
High blood pressure, which has become a very common problem, and the blood pressure becomes at least both the mother and the baby. Quite a number of them will be born before before that time to avoid any form of death. Others will be mothers who have cervical incompetence. That means the cervix does not close properly, so it opens. Others will be trauma, if your mother has fallen. Others have infections, have anemia, and nutritional status are not okay, and so the child will come out early. Other conditions will be things like diabetes, very controlled diabetes. Some of the children will be born quite early. Yes, early pregnancies and also late pregnancies, and also mothers who have many children. They are more prone to have premature deliveries.
You see, for example, preeclampsia, the high blood pressure, does it mean the child will probably not have certain organs, or does it matter when they are born?
The organs will be there, but some of the babies will be too small because the pressure also interferes with the growth of the babies. Others, if it is poorly controlled blood sugar of a mother who is diabetic, who can be diabetic or just gestational diabetes, which comes at the time of pregnancy. If it's poorly controlled, that baby can either be a big baby or even a small baby.
Would the children be born with some of the symptoms from the mother?
Usually what happens is that once they are born, we actually control the blood sugar. We admit them to be sure that their blood sugars are within the acceptable range. And some of them, they will not necessarily become diabetic, because quite a number of the mothers, they will just be gestational diabetes, which occurs during pregnancy, and after the pregnancy, the mother reverts back to normal.
Okay, so what would you suggest pregnant mothers do to probably avert premature pregnancies?
One, there is a lot of talk about the antenatal cares of every mother. So every mother who wants to be pregnant or who is pregnant should have care from the very beginning, so that the least mothers can actually be picked out and they're educated about their conditions and the safe way of giving birth.
And this, of course, is because the clinics follow you week by week or trimester per trimester to actually catch on if there's anything wrong, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if somebody is already being told probably they have a gestational diabetes, or what are they put on to ensure that they carry this child to term?
Now this becomes this involvement of several specialties. There will be the obstetrician who is seeing the mother. There will be also an endocrinologist who is also following the mother to make sure that the sugars are well controlled.
What are the recommended environments that such a child should now grow up in?
The first few months, we actually would want a climate almost like this, whereby the child has to be protected from any form of infections. Come into contact with people, children who are sick, who are coughing. Okay. Sometimes you even limit the relatives who come.
Yeah, to see the baby.
To see the baby. Because they will not even be understanding that this baby immunity is quite low. And any form of infection will actually bring the child back. We need them to have a warm environment. Okay. So these are things we try to educate the mothers. Not a room which is congested with perfumes and other things which affect the baby.
There are so many gaps in the system in as far as women who get premature children across the country. And this is just one example of how a newborn unit should be set up to ensure the survival of the child after birth. So what else should be put in place?
First of all, there should be a lot of knowledge given to the mothers through the media, through our magazines, through whatever system, through barazas in church and in open places, that a child born prem can actually survive. And we encourage them, especially if they do it at home, they should be able to put their baby in kangaroo position and bring the child to the hospital. Okay? One, for assessment. Are they term? Are they prem? Are they having other issues? That kangaroo will give the heat. It will protect the child from other complications.
But we cannot ignore the infrastructure bit. So they have come to hospital.
Yes.
What should be put in place
Yes.
in these healthcare
Yes.
facilities
Yes.
to ensure we accommodate these women and the
Yes, there should be proper nurseries for the babies. There should be enough equipment, enough support, and there should be enough staffing, so that the mothers don't feel like they're just throwing their baby to a place where the care is not available. It's important to know that nursery is like an ICU, it's expensive, so there should be more effort to support the system, not only in Kenyatta Prime Care, but also outside to the other countries. Yeah, and that of course will help survival of more babies. It also uproot the hospitals, the main hospitals, and more care will be availed at the other areas where the mothers can also be near their relatives, where the mothers can feel they are comfortable. They're back at home where they know best. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Miriam Karanja. She is a neonatologist here at the Kenyatta National Hospital. And as you can see, we are coming to you from the newborn unit. Now, when we come back after the break, we understand, as you heard Dr. talk about kangaroo care, and of course the nitty-gritties of ensuring that that child that is born preterm survives to the term and leaves hospital like any other bouncing baby girl or boy. Stay with us. As I said earlier, we're coming to you from the newborn unit within the Kenyatta Prime Care Center. Now, as we know, that story of baby Jeremiah, born at 400 grams and survived to walk out of this hospital, a bouncing baby boy, many were wowed by that. So we would like to understand, how exactly does a newborn unit ensure that a child born preterm walks out a baby bouncing boy or girl? And to help us understand that, we have Charity Kibue, who is, I think you can introduce your role here at the newborn unit.
Yes, I'm a critical care nurse and neonatal nurse, and I'm the in charge of the unit.
Okay.
Yeah, and in this unit, for us to succeed, we need to be ready every other time, because any baby can come out anytime from the unit, our maternity unit.
And which is
so even when we are studying here, they can call us. We are bringing a preterm, because some are born even a normal delivery, they just come and then they come.
Okay.
So we need to be very ready. And I have a very critical team who are skilled, experienced, and trained, and that is how maybe we have managed to succeed in taking care of these babies.
Okay.
So
I think at this point, then, Charity, you can tell us, when that baby is coming into the newborn unit, where do they go first?
Immediately we come and they prepare this is a resuscitator, it's a warmer, because the babies are at risk when they are premature. They are at risk of hypothermia, that is low temperatures. That one will take them very fast. So we need to warm this machine, and even this mattress is also, it warms. So we need to put
different.
So we need to put it on, so that when the baby comes, it is already warm, and then the heat is coming from down. And before that, we have already put on even this linen is already warm. So when they come, we remove every other linen from their side. Now we dress them up here. We are ready with a suction machine so that you can clear the airway, so that we are able even to ventilate with oxygen. We have oxygen ready with us.
And after the baby has come here and you put all the facilities in place, how do you decide which baby goes into the incubator or their needs to start with?
Yeah, okay. Some will come because maybe there's a lot of infection when they are born. Others, they are very sick, they are not able to breathe by themselves. So we first of all settle them. This is like a resuscitator also, whereby when we give oxygen, we nurse them here for the time. When they settle, if they are big babies, we'll just nurse them in the cot. If they are near the premature, we take them to the incubator.
So are you saying you can take both babies, a premature child,
yes,
and a term child who
yes,
has complications?
Yes.
Yeah. So from there, you've established they are preemies and they need more care.
Yes.
How do you now move them from here?
We have to establish now they are warm enough, and they are saturating very well. their skin color is good. Before now we move to the
Okay.
Yes.
And the incubators
and
are
the incubators
this way?
are these ones. These ones are ready. They are very clean. We do a lot of decontamination and sterilization before a baby gets in.
Okay, we see the children staying in the incubators for a while. What does the incubator have that mimics a womb?
Incubator is an electrical driven machine.
Yes.
So we connect the machine on the electricity. Like, and I can give you an example
Yes.
of this one.
Yes.
We package and we put like a nest. We arrange, it's like a nest. So this baby will come inside, we put like in a nest, and then the machine is on, and then we control the temperatures. Yes.
Okay.
And that temperature will maintain that baby. And we have to be checking in, out, all out, so that the baby does not get into hypothermia. Yes, and you make sure the doors are all closed, because now, like, if the baby is going to take to continue with oxygen, we still have connections for oxygen. And like this one, you can see all this is oxygen. Then we put through a tube inside. We have air circulating, and if the baby needs oxygen direct, we can still use a mask. There's a mask that we use.
You have tiny masks?
You have tiny. You can give me a piece.
Okay.
Yes, we have a tiny mask. Yes.
Okay.
That we assist with improving, stabilizing, and we don't need that mask. We remove the mask. When we remove the mask, then we can circulate oxygen. Yes, inside.
Okay. So how and what determines how long a child stays in an incubator?
It is the way they are improving, the weight. Like now, if we go to about 1.2 kgs, we are able now to initiate like kangaroo. If the baby is actually very stable with no complications, we can now initiate a kangaroo.
And then it will be mother comes and holds the baby, which is
Yes.
kangaroo care.
Yes.
And then they're returned into the incubator?
Yes, because it is, we can have a continuous and we can have intermittent. So that the intermittent is when she comes, she goes for 1 hour or 2 hours, then we go back to the incubator for her to rest.
Okay.
Yes.
And how about the feeding?
The feeding.
Because the child looks so small.
Yes.
And as it is a child born term, they still need very little milk. I can only imagine a preterm child how much they need. Yeah.
We first of all feed them with the
I think you can
IV
go
fluids.
ahead. Yes. Uh-huh.
We do a concoction of 10% and other fluids, and we give them, because that time they are not ready to digest it. But as we continue with the days, we are able to introduce. We introduce feeding very little by little. You can even start with 1 meal.
So the mothers, when they come and express, you only tell them you need only so much.
No. They will express as much, because for mothers, for us to maintain now breast milk, they have to express kila kitu, everything, so that even their mind and their breast, it is implicating that we are breastfeeding.
Okay.
So you cannot just remove 1 meal. You give me 1 meal.
Too little.
You have to empty.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So
then
do
we
you
can
have
only use what we need.
Do you have refrigerators?
We have.
Now, when you talk about kangaroo care, what is the importance of kangaroo care? Because we see mothers literally wrapping their children skin to skin.
Yes.
What is the importance of it?
The importance is that there is that bonding. Yeah, even the mother can feel the baby can feel the mother. Yeah. So there is that, and of course, you reduce the infection, you reduce the cost. Sometimes I charge them for incubator, but those hours we are doing kangaroo, they are not included. It is her who is doing. It is so convenient.
Yes. Now, of course, you will find more mothers in here, but do you allow fathers? Because this child was made by two people.
It is mother, father, kangaroo. We have had scenarios where the father even wants to do it more than the mother.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Because it's their chance to bond with the child.
Yeah, the child, yes. Yes. As they graduate to 1.5,
yes,
sometimes they also like they refuse the incubator. An example is this baby. She came out at 1.5. She was just irritable in the incubator. And of course, we are not working alone. We are working with our doctor. She will also guide us. At this point is when we need to come out, because we are working as a team. We don't allow all visitors. It's only the mother and the father. And probably we can consider the grandparent. Yes, because they are usually anxious. They want to see their, but occasionally, not always that they should be coming. And then for every other staff who comes in, they have to change into the shoe that is inside. And then, of course, we do masking when we feel there is a need. The other thing is, every time you are coming in, you come at the door, you have to sanitize yourself.
Yes, we all do.
You are, if you're not that, you can still do water and soap. It is equally very good. And every time you are going to touch a baby, you have to clean your hands. When you leave the baby, you clean your hands. When you are moving to the other baby, you clean your hands. So it is a routine. It is actually in us. Perfumes and anything irritable, it is actually not good for the babies. So they should be natural. As long as they are very clean, they have to be very clean.
This is the Kenyatta Prime Care unit, and the newborn unit here is clearly fully equipped. But out there, mashinani, these things are very few and
They are
far
very few,
between.
yeah.
So from your experience, what should be put in place to support such a system?
Outside there in the county, they need to have, first of all, trained personnel, and then of course to have a good environment, like a good room, and then of course the machines, they should be able to facilitate them so that they are able to cater for the babies, because outside there, if a baby came plain and there is nothing to keep them warm, actually you're going to lose that baby, because hypothermia, it is very low temperatures. They cannot survive. So they need to have all those facilities in place, and for sure we can do better than we are doing outside there.
Yes. All right. You've seen many of them come and go, live up to be
Yes,
big
we are celebrating
babies.
so many, Baby Hope and others. We are going to celebrate Baby Ejo, who was 620. This baby was 620 grams.
Wow.
Now we are on Kangaroo.
Yay.
Yes. So we have celebrated so many. And this celebration is because of the great team that I have. They are very qualified, very dedicated. Actually, they think with the heart also.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Charity. It honestly has been awesome to spend time in this space. We are coming to you from the newborn unit within the Kenyatta Prime Care unit. Remember, this is a testimony that a child born before term can survive and live a full life. Time now for the health tip.
A good tip for strong mental health can be to write a journal or draw. Use some way to release some of the thoughts in your mind and get them down on paper so that you can relax your mind a little bit and keep a good mental health and be able to be your best self during the day.
Health Bite, brought to you by National AIDS Control Council.
There's so much that is happening in regards to mental health. We have statistics inform us that adolescents and young people, suicide is the second leading cause of death among adolescents and young people globally. So some of the things that contribute to adolescents and young people committing suicide are things like depression, stress, and at times being exposed to drugs and substance use or abuse. This is so much related to issues of relationships. Like if your relationship is not working, then you opt to do drugs. Sometimes people have like unprotected sex because they are finding affirmation from other people as opposed to being self-affirmed. And this is a contributing factor towards the high incidence rate of HIV, because you're looking at 48 adolescents and young people getting infected with HIV on a daily basis. Issues of relationship has contributed so much to suicidal cases, even to femicides, because we are seeing young people killing their partners out of conflicts in relationship. So all these issues are in regards to challenges that adolescents and young people face. So in regards to UHC, mental health is a key component as we look to the implementation of the UHC agenda, because there is no physical health without mental health. So we need to look at the adolescent and the young person mental wellness as well as their physical wellness as well. So if we take care of their mental wellness, then even the physical wellness will be taken care of, because some of the issues, mental health issues, they lead to physical illnesses as well, because you look at the asymptomatic illnesses that are caused by too much accumulated stress that the young person is not able to address. And that is why as LVCT we have the online one-to-one online digital platform that addresses this issue. So if you're a young person and you do not know who to talk to, you can reach out to us at 1190, which is a toll-free line from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. in the night. They'll be able to get a qualified counselor who can be able to take them through. We have the one-to-one platform on Facebook, one-to-one on Twitter, one-to-one on Instagram, and one-to-one on YouTube. If you want information in regards to mental health, in regards to sexual reproductive health, in regards to HIV, in regards to gender-based violence, then you can be able to get that information too when you look at our different platforms.
Health Bite, brought to you by National AIDS Control Council.
Today we have been coming to you from the Kenyatta Prime Care Center, specifically the newborn unit, where we've learned so much about taking care of preterm babies. So as I bid you goodbye, I'd like to have a hold of one of the angels here. Oh, just a testimony of how possible it is for a child born preterm to live a long, healthy life. This child will be taken home on Friday, so it goes a long way in saying or showing that it is possible for preterm babies to live a full life. Thank you for watching. My name is Gladys Gashanja. Have yourself a good one. Okay, sawa, ni hapa pa kuvalishwa sasa.
Yes.
Naya. Okay. All right. Oh, Tutu. Okay. We are konanja. And this definitely is because of the children's name.
Yes.
Children's.